Pokemon Go events are the most exciting part about the game. From new Pokemon releases to Go Fests, every month we're treated to new themed experiences. Which begs the question, out of the hundreds of events that have gone down, which are the best ones? Today we take a walk down memory lane through 7 of Pokemon Go's greatest events that have ever happened. Starting with the absolutely iconic 2017 Water Festival event. What made it iconic wasn't the fact that it was the first ever water festival. It was because it featured the release of Pokemon Go's first shiny ever. Also, as part of this event, nearly 40 unique water-type Pokemon were spawning in the wild, including epic catches like Blastoise, Feraligatr, and Gyarados, which was extra cool because before shiny Pokemon, the coolest thing you could find in the game were like awesome rare evolved spawns. So it was really exciting to see these big boys in the wild. And yes, speaking of shinies, Pokemon Go's first ever shiny Pokemon, Shiny Magikarp, was released at the beginning of this event.
3 right here. Oh yes! Is it really? Oh yes! Oh my god, okay, let me find some. No way, yo! Oh my god!
The hunt for it was epic, and it's one of the most historic moments in my Pokemon Go career. And I still have him here to this day, respectfully best buddied and level 50'd. Next, we take a spooky turn to what I consider Pokemon Go's greatest Halloween event ever, Halloween 2020. It's kind of surprising that an event that happens every year had its best year during a global lockdown, but it happened, and it was awesome. There were 3 new Pokemon and 2 new costume Pokemon released during this event. Mega Gengar, Yamask and its evolution, and Costume Gengar and Sableye. And the Costume Gengar released during this year was the best Gengar they've ever released. And speaking of shinies, there were 4 new ones. Shiny Mega Gengar, the best shiny ever, shiny Costume Gengar and Sableye, and the incredibly rare shiny Spiritomb was released during this event. Plus, there were the Costume Kanto starters in eggs and in raids that you could get, shiny. Darkrai was in tier 5 raids. The spawns were amazing. And as always, we had the 2 times catch and transfer candy. It was a chef's kiss of an event. The perfect mix of new and returning super exclusive Pokemon, and overall was a Shiny Hunter's Paradise event. But the ultimate Shiny Hunter's Paradise event is the one that happens every month. Community Day. And out of all the Community Day events that have ever happened, there was one that really stood out. No, it wasn't a December wrap-up Comm Day or even the 2-day Eevee weekend. It was Gible Community Day in the summer of 2021. At the time, this was one of Pokemon Go's most controversial Community Day events ever. There was a lot of buzz on social media about this hyper rare shiny finally getting its day to the public. On one side, people who didn't have it were super excited to get it, and on the other side, people who spent immense amounts of money and time to get this rare shiny were a little frustrated that it was being released to everyone. But when the fateful day arrived, it was glorious. It was one of those events that made the game feel alive again. There were so many people out playing, and since this was technically during the pandemic, it lasted 6 hours. Yeah, remember the 6-hour Comm days? This was the best of them. 6 hours of incredibly rare shiny rates for one of the rarest shinies in the game. And I actually ended up setting my personal Community Day record during this event.
No way we did 50, right? No way we did 50! Oh my god! 50! It's still
50?
going! 57!
Wow.
57 shiny Gible.
Stupid.
Dude, that's insane. And I thought, dude, I started off so slow.
Yeah, you did. Holy moly.
But that wasn't the only thing that made this event so epic. The bonuses were ridiculous. 3-hour incense and lures, kind of before that was like a normal thing, and 3 times catch XP, or 6 times catch XP with a lucky egg. Oh my god. And Garchomp got the exclusive move Earth Power, which even over a year later has kept it at the top of the ground type meta this entire time. In every way possible, this was the perfect Community Day event. Hopping back over into 2020, we find Pokemon Go's best Go Fest that ever happened. Pokemon Go Fest 2020. This event introduced some of the best Pokemon ever into the game, and because of the pandemic, had some very unique features we probably won't see return. For starters, the incense was still super boosted during this event, meaning you could just sit at home and catch Pokemon just using your incense and still get a ton of spawns and catches and shinies throughout the day. Like 1 spawn every 30 seconds without moving. It was great. There were also rotating habitats throughout the day that changed up the spawns based on the specific theme of the hour. Water hour, fire hour, etc. And there was a thick list of new shiny Pokemon released, including the Pikachu hat costume starters, Tangela and Tangrowth, Unknown G and O, Quillfish, Woobat and Swoobat, Heatmore, Durant, a lot to be excited about as a shiny hunter. Oh, and Wash Rodon was also released for the first time ever. Plus we had Groudon and Kyogre in raids, which was just epic, and that was all just day 1. This was a 2-day. Day 2 of the event was all about Team Rocket. Plus a sweet pool of legendary Pokemon in the tier 5 raids, including Dialga, Palkia, and both Giratina. But the best part about the day 2 of this event was in the special exclusive research, where you'd battle your way to Pizza Boy Giovanni, who, when defeated, gave you an encounter with the first ever Shadow Mewtwo. Mewtwo. This was special for two major reasons. One, and most obviously, it was the first time Shadow Mewtwo, Pokemon Go's best Pokemon ever, was released into the game. And two, the IVs were boosted. Nowadays, when you catch Shadow Legendary Pokemon, the IVs can be literally anywhere. But for this specific research, the IVs for Shadow Mewtwo at a base rate were really high, which means everyone got a pretty decent or really good Shadow Mewtwo. I myself got this Shadow Mewtwo during the event, which is still my best ever and one of the best Pokemon in my collection. And actually the strongest Pokemon in my collection. This is like my best Pokemon. And this event was made even sweeter by the fact that you could get all 3 Kanto legendary birds as well in their shadow forms from the special research with boosted IVs. There were tons of people who walked away from GoFest 2020 with a Hundo Shadow Legendary. This was easily Pokemon Go's best global GoFest event. And next we have one of the biggest sleeper events to ever happen in Pokemon Go history, the Bidoof Breakout event. Now before you say anything, let me explain why I'm comparing the Bidoof event to Pokemon GoFest 2020. Bidoof is a Pokemon icon, the single biggest meme in the franchise. So for it to get its own dedicated event paying homage to the community memes of Bidoof was just awesome. But the event itself was actually like objectively incredible. Obviously, Bidoof was spawning everywhere and was released as a shiny and a shadow, not a shadow shiny, but the shiny was released and the shadow was released for the first time. But the bonus was kind of crazy, and it helped everyone. It started with over 24 hours of 2 times catch XP, then went to over 24 hours of 3 times catch XP, and then ended on over 24 hours of 4 times catch XP or 8 times catch XP with a lucky egg. Plus, Bidoof is just an easy Pokemon to catch. This was perfect. It was an XP dream event that all players could benefit from. Plus, it was a whole 5 days dedicated to the one and only meme that is Bidoof. Perfection. Okay, last time we bring up the year of 2020, but it was just such a good one in-game. After GoFest was this little old thing called the Ultra Unlock. And the 2020 Ultra Unlock events were easily the best we've ever had. And they created probably the most exciting summer Pokemon Go has ever had. By completing a list of Pokemon Go Fest related challenges, we unlocked 3 amazing events that happened throughout the month of August 2020. It started with Dragon Week, which featured a host of amazing and rare dragon Pokemon in the wild. Shiny Dino was released for the first time ever, only in the 7-kilometer eggs, but was still super hype. And we had Shiny Rayquaza come back to the Tier 5 raids. I distinctly remember hatching a Shiny Gible back before it had a calm day when it was super rare out of one of my last 7-kilometer egg from the event. And it was glorious.
This raid. I'm still. Oh no! Oh my God! It happened. What? Oh my God.
Then began Enigma Week. This one was actually really exciting. Elgyem and Beheeyem were released in Pokemon Go, along with 8 new shiny Pokemon, including Staryu and Starmie, Unknown, ULTRNA, and Deoxys. A literally insane time to be a shiny hunter. And finally, we had Unova Week, where we got a handful of new Pokemon from the Unova region, some fun raid bosses and eggs, and the release of some of Pokemon Go's best shinies, the Roggenrola family and shiny Genesect. I'm pretty sure this is where Gilly got his Shundo Genesect, actually. And I did get an OG shiny Roggenrola, which was one of my favorite shinies in my account at the time. Since then, the Ultra Unlocks have kind of gone downhill. This one was by far the greatest. But the next event is arguably Pokemon Go's best event that ever happened. It was a first of its kind that everyone who played really enjoyed. It was the Kanto Tour event. This was the first ever tour event, and it introduced a cool, fun new feature: choice. You were able to choose either the red version or the green version, which would impact your research and the spawns that you would see in game. It was really interactive, and we had a lot to do in game. There was special research, constantly rotating spawns, special timed research collection challenges. You essentially had to collect every Pokemon from Gen 1. It was a hunt of epic proportions. And to make it even more exciting, we had a bunch of new shiny Pokemon released for the first time, including Ditto, Mew, Spearow and Fearow, Paris and Parasect, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and Snorlax. That is a really good list. Bro, and the raids were incredible. So good that they were actually super distracting because you didn't know if you should focus on the wild spawns more or on the raids more. The 3-star raids featured all the Kanto regionals, and they all could be shiny. The new shiny Snorlax was in the 4-star raids, and the 5 stars had the shiny Kanto birds and Mewtwo. I think I left the event with somewhere between 30 and 40 shiny Pokemon. It was literally ridiculous. Do you remember your favorite Pokemon Go event? Let me know what it was down in the comments below, and make sure to check out the other videos on screen if you enjoyed this one. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.